to be using daffodil yellow and relaxing paint today. Daffodil yellow. I like these new yellows. There's a pale yellow and a daybreak that are really beautiful colors. And so I just want you to see how soft they are. And I'm going to use some soft greens. This green is a matte green. It's so multi-surface, and then they're all folk art, and then sometimes a matte with just some, I only have like 7 or 8 matte colors, and it's because I love the colors and we don't have them in multi-surface. So I thought I can put them in there and you can blend them with our regular multi-surface, and they're really good. I wouldn't put them on glass unless you were adding some medium to the glass paint. I mean, to the matte colors. All right. And so I'm going to just have fun kind of doing this and let you see. I'm going to put some darker, some gray in here, medium gray. All right. I've been painting a lot so you can see my stuff here. Let me put some clean paper towels down. I've just been working, starting out early this morning. And I'm going to use, let's use a 12 today. All right, so I'm going to pick up a nice 12. That's one of my one strip brushes. I kind of lay out what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to put some gray. This is art paper. It's 183 pound, and it's a gray tone pad that we sell. And there's some with multiple gray tones. You can always look for those. But this is a smooth vellum finish. So if you're looking for art pads with paper in them, we have black and gray. It's what I use the most. If you're looking for art pads, make sure that it's not really bumpy and dry, because your paint will have a hard time. Your painting will be harder. All right, so that's our 12. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here with these light colors like I was telling you. So this is pale yellow and white. All right. And I usually use my flowers for the main layout of my design. And then I come in and add leaves afterwards. So sometimes people really would rather put their leaves first. If you do that, you have to draw your design or use a pattern. And the way I do is we just lay one petal over another, wet on wet. Okay, so I just want you to see I'm picking up the first color, side loading the second color. Then I'm going to come right in here and see they're really pretty pale yellow. I'm dipping the pale yellow. I'm coming out and back in. So let me show you this stroke slower. I come right here up to a point, push down, and come back. I stroke in here every petal. This size. I mean, sometimes if you have smaller, but most of the time you need to pick up each stroke. See, I can go right here where I was loading and not pick up more paint. I might not need more yellow, but I need white every time. Okay. Now the bumblebees are going to be beautiful on here. So I can't wait to show you how fun those are. Okay, so we're going to come up and down, up and down. All right. And I just want it out here big enough that the bee will look really pretty on here. I have a great stencil that will blow you away with how quick you make a bee and how pretty the bee is. All right, so I think that's kind of fun. We're going to let that sit just a little minute, but I'm going to come right here and grab on that same brush on the yellow side, I'm going to pick up the forest moss. All right, so I'm going to come right in here and pick up forest moss, and I use this chisel to make the stem. So I'm picking up that moss there. I'm going to come right in here and do one stroke leaves. So you go to my practice strokes and you go one stroke leaves, and it will show you all the lessons that help you learn one stroke leaves. You want to do flower petals? Go look for flower petals. All right, that's as easy as it is, right on practice strokes. It shows you how to double load, shows you how to use a double loader. All right, see how pretty those colors show up? I like this forest moss. It's a really nice color, but we don't have it in multi-surface. So I'm mixing my multi-surface with it. Now I started doing a wiggled leaf, but you don't really need it, you see, because when we come in here, look, if I want the wiggle leaf, watch, I push it down, I wiggle the edge and stand up. I'm going to get a little bit of white, and then this side I can go smooth. All right, now I have that big leaf out there and no other big leaves. Okay. Oop, that turned out ugly. All right. Now, a couple of things that we can do out here. Just put some little buds. Now, see how nice that the gray in the background gave it depth. Do you see that? And we pull our stem. I think the bee is going to cover some of this, but that's okay. I just want to get all that in there. Okay. I'm on the chisel just doing those little vines, okay? The stems, actually. All right. Now, let's come here, and I'm going to do a couple of those buds, and then I'll come back. All right, so I'm going to pick up the pale yellow again and do one, two, one, two. So it's like two strokes. And that gives you a nice little bud. One stroke on top of the other, but they're double loaded with white and pale yellow. Oh, that didn't have any yellow. There we go. I can put a couple of those in there. And that kind of a fun, quick project. Think about greeting cards. Think about a really fun project that we're just going to put some. Look, these can be lavender, these can be blue, pink. Any of those colors with the same design would be pretty. Now you saw that was kind of pretty simple. You got to learn that stroke. You got to learn a one stroke leaf. That's pretty much it. All right, so I'm going to come in here and put some daffodil yellow in the middle. Why don't we put moon yellow? I think moon yellow, because I'll put the moon yellow in for the bumblebee, okay? And I also like, oh, where is it? Pueblo on my bumblebee. All right, or burnt sienna. There's different colors, but Pueblo is also a multi-surface. Okay, so let's come here. Let's add that darker yellow. Okay, and we're just gonna, on the chisel, and putting moon yellow right in here. All right, so I'm just gonna put it in the centers. And before I put the center on this, I am going to blow dry that. And then I'm going to show you the bee. Now, what this does is this has to be dry before I put the bee on, because the stencil will lay on top of here and it might make a mess. So I like that this pen's quiet so they can use it in my class. And it doesn't interfere with everybody. I got this on here, I didn't see that. These are really pretty matted with the soft green, if you match that green. And sometimes you can just mat them and put them in a plastic sleeve and sell them at the shows, or give them as a gift and not frame it. Then, because they could choose to get their own framing. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's gonna stay shiny because the paint, when you do it thick, it's multi-surface, it has a sealer in it. Okay, so this is my bee stencil, and so it says be kind, be humble, but instead of the word bee, you can put a bumblebee there. But I'm gonna put this really large bee right here. Okay, right here, and he's getting ready to get in the middle. All right, so I'm going to use my stencil brushes, and these stencil brushes come 3 in a set, and you will never try a stencil brush set as wonderful as these are. I am not kidding you, they are amazing. They're synthetic nylon, not the rough stencil material that usually is used. They have this handle that's smooth and slick, and if I wasn't going so fast, I kept them all nice for a long time. But this is what I did. I did a 20, a 16, and a 12, just to let you know. All right, so I'm going to use a 16. And what I'm going to do first is these have to be dry. And I'm going to come over here to my paper towel, and with my dry brush, I picked up white paint, and I'm just going to stroke across here for the wing. All right, so that part, I'm going to tap it, work it out. That part, I'm going to go over with some other color, but I want you to see it looks like wings. And what I usually cover those more with yellow, with white. So then I'm going to pick up some daffodil yellow, and I didn't take the white off. All right, so I'm just going on the body right in here. Okay, so I've got a little trick to show you on that. So see that body, where that yellow is where it's going to actually be black. So this is what I do. There's 2 steps. That's the first step. So I can come in here and make this all yellow where the body itself is going to be, because the black stripes go on top of it. Okay. All right, now what I like to do is take some Pueblo and get some pretty orangey color on the side, and it just gives it dimension. That's kind of what I do with bumblebees. Bumblebees, butterflies. I do all kinds of shading. Then I put the licorice on. All right, I also like to come in here, and we have all kinds of dragonfly glazes, different kinds of metallic, iridescent, color shift. I'm just putting white here. All right, so you can leave those veins. See those veins? But I like it a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Okay. Now what we're going to do is dry that. And then our second step, you won't believe. Okay, so while I'm drying that, I'm going to put some licorice out. All right, so a little bit of licorice. That's a lot of licorice. And you really need to do 2 or 3 or whatever, and get it all, let them all dry. And then you can do this part to numerous pieces wherever you want the bumblebee. And then you can come all at once, because you have to clean the brushes out in between, and you want the stencil brushes to be dry. So some people are into doing a lot of stencils. They might buy more than 1 set of the stencil brushes. But when you're starting out, just It depends on how much you're going to be painting. All right, so you just line that right back up. Now you're going to love this. This freaks me out. It's so awesome. Totally dry brush. I went to the 12 and I'm working this in. All right, now usually I tell you to come over here and work it off. All right, and then I want you to see, I can tap in here with more paint without working it off right here, just for the stripes. Kind of makes it look fuzzy also. Okay, now we want the legs to be very perfect. We also see them coming in here to the wings, and I brush the wings out like that. And it just gives you a nice gray color. All right, I can bring a little bit more in here. So everywhere the yellow is originally stenciled on is where the black goes. Are you with me? So now I'm going to get licorice and I'm going to come to my paper towel. I'm going to rub it off, make circles to get it off. All right, and then you're going to go right on these legs, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now what you're going to love is how perfect these legs are. It freaked me out first time. I was so happy. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It sounds amazing. You got to see it to believe it. Look at that. Look at every little leg. Is that perfect? Oh, I love it. I didn't expect to have to do that second step when I created it, but oh my gosh, I love what it turned out to be. Right. So you can go to a lot of detail here. You can put a little bit, oops, that's got water in it. You can put a little highlight on the head. Just a little bit. You can put a little bit here. A glow. Or you can leave it. Look how pretty. All right. So then I do come around. Like I said, I put dragonfly glaze, which gives you glitter effect, or just a metallic of some kind. Or I can come right in here. Where's my medium? Did I not get medium yet? I can come here and go around the outside edge. Okay. And then choose to do some medium later. I mean, metallic later. Isn't that fun? Or you can also, here's the medium. You can also come, guys, underneath. See, let's get some medium. I love sharing new things that you can do. I want you to see you can come right under here and see how that lifts the wing, where I float the gray underneath right here. And I can come around here and get his body lifted. Isn't that great? Okay. That means I need to do it on top too. Okay, so see how the wings pop? I just want it to look really realistic. So let's look at this again. All right, so what happens is we have a baby one, the same exact bumblebee baby. Then we have a large, big bumblebee and a small bumblebee. So he would just be like a focus in a big, huge flower. All right. And so I put other words that I like with other fonts. And so you can mix and match them together. Okay. Be humble and kind. Be grateful. All right. Now that's this. Now we're not done. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I want to put little teeny inky licorice. All right, and I'm going to pull stamens in the middle. Okay. All right, so we're going to pull these little stamens. And it's kind of watery. I should have made it not so watery. There we go. You can also use your Identa pens here. Some people said they tend to like to do that better because they're not good with the small stuff. But see, these aren't perfect. You can see I'm not doing it perfect, and I'll show you what I do so it's not like that. I also can use this outlining effect to go on the outside of some leaves. And I don't try to do it perfect. See how you can do a little bit of that? So I'm going right to and rolling inky leaves. Okay, so you can also just put this on the top or both. Put the stem in it. See, that starts adding to it. You can go around the petals too if you wish. So what you think about putting this on a t-shirt? This would look really pretty on a shirt, and just go to practice strokes and say fabric painting samples, and it will show you how to do it right on fabric. All right. All right, I'm gonna not do them all, just showing you some, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to take this as a kiss tool, I call it, but and you could, I sell it like with their wipe away tools. So on glass and canvas, like if we want to take away something, these are all rubber. All right, but this is what we call a kiss tool because it looks like a candy kiss. All right, so I can do a couple of these where I'm putting bright yellow in here, but I'm going to put white. See, I'm just dapping some of those, and especially out here where I messed up my finger, smeared it. Okay, I can do some of this out in different spots. I always have little tricks for when I mess up. All right, so we can come right in here. And this gives it a nice look in that gray area. Like a little fillers. Like that. All right. Now I'm going to come in with white. So we're going to go all around inside of here, kind of at the end of those stems. They don't have to be perfect, but those are just the stamens inside this flower. All right. So that's what it looks like. It's not too pretty when I just did it watery. But then when you come back in here, and those stems are kind of underneath the pollen. So as you're putting this, I don't worry about being exactly at the end of each one, but do multiple. So there you go. And that bee is ready to get it, right? All right. I want you to be on my Facebook group. It's Donna Dewberry's with an S official one stroke group. And when you go there, you have to answer 2 questions. So many people don't answer them, and then we have to just not include you. But you will not believe what you find on our group. We're almost 40,000 strong. We're right there. Help us make it. And what happens is that we share our work and people give you encouragement. We 2 times a week have a sale. We also have some free lessons on there. So come check us out. I'm going to sign it. When I was talking about the Identa pen that you can use, there's 2 tips on this Identa pen, and you can come in here and do this. I use this on fabric because it's a permanent marker. It doesn't fade like Sharpies will. When you wash the fabric, they turn gray instead of black. But if you want to outline things, you can outline it with this. And this I've used a bunch, so the tip's not sharp. That's why I'm not using it on here. But this is usually a really sharp point. So these are right on my website. They're Identa pens. Okay. And we use it for all kinds of goodies. Look at that bee. Thank you for being on today. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you next time.